Comfortable now, like as opposed to the first game when you take off and run?
Yeah, of course. I mean, you just learn the speed and adjustment of the game. Every team is different. Every team's flying around different. So just getting a feel for it and just knowing how to protect yourself.
Yeah, you've been really good at getting down and sliding or getting out of bounds. How important or how much have you kind of talked to Coach Like and Coach Edwards about kind of protecting yourself?
They talk to me a lot. I mean, it's really just something that's a second nature to me now. So I mean, if anything's around, just go down, and just get as many yards as you can, but not taking unnecessary hits.
I was talking to Nick Rogers, and he was saying that your offensive line in high school wasn't the best necessarily. So you've kind of been used to having to run for your life a little bit. Did that equip you a little bit for what you've faced here?
Yeah, I mean, coming here to O-line is different. So sometimes just sitting back there and be able to just sit in the pocket. And, I mean, that's really equipped me and molded me to help me with my game now. So every time I get outside the pocket or something, I always just getting out of bounds or just sliding whenever people are around me.
So in high school, that was more of you needed to run, not necessarily that it was a design run?
Yeah, sometimes you just needed to run. I mean, high school is different than college. So some of the plays in high school I can make, but some of the plays in college I can't make.
Herm was saying yesterday that the only time he really yells is when you're getting out of the pocket. Do you hear him on the field at any point when he's yelling and he's saying get down or get out or come to me?
Yeah, I hear him. I hear Coach Berkovici. They just always say be smart. For instance, like last week, I was running down the sideline. It was at third down. I was running down the sideline, and I wanted to cut back. But then I just hear on the side, I hear Coach Herm and Coach Berkovici like be smart, so I just got out of bounds.
And I'm guessing at some point, they've all kind of said they're not going to get you hurt, and there's a moment, obviously, you never want to see a competitor go down, but that kind of reiterates their point of it's better for you to be smart and not get hurt than to maybe try for that extra yard or try for those extra little bits to stay on the field and stay healthy.
Yeah, I mean, it's sad what happened to Chase, right on our sideline too. But you see that he tried to get a little extra yard, and then unlucky that he broke his collarbone. So, I mean, that's something that you always got to look out for because you never know. That play, you might hurt something real bad. You never know when you might get back up.
Is it weird, too, being the quarterback after Manny, who is hurdling everyone, and then you're the guy who's just very good at sliding?
Yeah, Manny, he did the hurdling thing. That's probably one of the first things they told me not to do when I got here.
Was it weird when you came into college football? Did you have to get adjusted to kind of how fast and big some of the guys were? Were you a little bit hesitant to run at the beginning? And then once you kind of got that first hit, was it like, okay, I kind of understand what's coming?
Yeah, I mean, you really got to just have a feel for it, have a feel when you can run and when you can't. Sometimes you just got to sit back there and make the throw.
Yeah.
Sometimes you might have to just pick it up with your feet. So, I mean, just getting the feel for it, college football, I mean, 5 games in, so I pretty much have a little bit more feel for it than I did the first game.
Yeah, you talk about the feel. When it seems like you sit back there a long time and you're really looking downfield, when do you know it's time to take off?
Sometimes when you're waiting for somebody to get open, and then just that split second, if you're waiting a little too long, that's when the clock in your head has to go off. You just got to get what you get or just throw the ball away.
Is there a second number, or do you just go through the progressions?
I just go through the progression. So, like, for instance, in the cow, I was at that one play when I was just sitting back there, just waiting for a minute. I seen Brandon Ayuk coming open, so me scrambling a little bit, lengthening it, and then right before people got to me, I just threw the ball. He was wide open.
Yeah.
Do you feel more comfortable running now? Because it seems like the first couple games you guys were very conservative and you didn't really try to get out there and run as much.
Yeah, I mean, just going out there, like I said, just, whenever I need to make a play, just going to make a play. That's one thing that they trust me to do. Some type of games, really just going out there. If I need to make a play, help keep the drive alive with my feet, I'm going to do it just to help the team win.
Jayden, it seemed like in the Cal game, things opened up more dimensionally for your offense, and just like getting to this point in the season and knowing that can get you yards. You obviously looking downfield first, but then you can always pick up that big first down with your legs. Just how does it feel that the offense seems to be evolving as weeks go on?
We're just getting better each and every week. The game plan that the coaches have put out for us, we're just going out there trying to execute to our greatest potential. So, I mean, just knowing that the running game got going a little bit last last week, you see Eno had 100 yards, 3 touchdowns. I helped put some yards on the ground with myself. So just knowing that no matter what, we keep teams off balance. We're not just a one-dimensional team.
I know in high school you ran track, but why did you run the 400?
I mean, it's just really just endurance, just stamina. I mean, just going out there, you pick up speed at points in time, and you just gotta learn how to finish. Really just taught you to always finish through and never quit. Never give up. Like the shorter races, I mean, it's just a short amount of time, but the 400 meters taught you something different.
So you ran like the 100, the 200, the hurdles, and everything, and then you got started at track really early with your dad, right?
I did. So I've been running track ever since I was young. 200, 400, 100. So I mean, just going out there. There's a couple years I took off, but as soon as I got back to high school, I got back into it.
Did you notice your speed actually pick up, like from the time you were 7 to when you got to high school?
I mean, track helps out a lot. Just going out there, you turn over, you're just picking up speed, and it just translates onto the field. You see that you can run by people now.
Yeah.
It's not really that too many people are going to catch you.
Yeah. Is that too one of the things of? It seems your form, like your strides are really long, even when there's not a lot of space. You can kind of still have those long strides. Is that a track thing that you picked up?
Yeah, it is. It's just learning how to use my legs. I was, like a lot of people they call me long. Yeah. So I mean, just learning how to use my long strides. Just using my legs, and really that's just technique that I learned at a young age.
But you didn't play baseball, did you?
I didn't.
How did you learn that slide?
I don't know, it just came natural. I mean, getting older in the years, football, you start taking them hits, and then my dad and Coach Rogers, they came out to me and was like, well, you're going to have to learn how to slide. So, I mean, in the games, I just did it. And then ever since you get more comfortable, it's like second nature now.
So would you practice that? No, so just the game.
Just the game.
You never practice the slide?
Nah, just
the
games.
Some people are born with it, right?
Yeah. It actually is fun. I get joked throughout with Ethan Long. He was like, it looks cool when you slide.
Yeah, it's like really, the form is really good. It looks like you're like, I don't know, someone's stealing second in baseball and you just come and pop right up.
Yeah.
Is there a moment, I guess, that you kind of, when you've gone now that you've had 2 college road games, is there a moment where you kind of notice the environment that you're in? Michigan State's got, 75, 80,000. Cal's a big stadium. Is there any moment that you maybe even sink in, where you're playing and how big this environment is?
Yeah, I talk about with Coach Berkovici on the sideline sometimes. After we're done talking to receivers, is just sitting there, seeing defense on the field, watching it, and you just look up and just like, wow. I mean, playing on the road is fun because you have everybody going against you. So I mean, be able to just go on the road and win big games, it's fun. I like playing on the road. I just like playing football.
So you take even more enjoyment maybe out of shutting a crowd out, more so than even pumping your own crowd up.
Yeah, of course, because just hearing the silence after the game, after we stunned Cal, ranked 15th team in the nation. So just going up there and be able to stun them and see everybody's faces, and then knowing what we did on our side, it's a big accomplishment.
I guess, what was the largest environment you played at during your high school years? I know you guys had a couple of big games. Helix came in last year for the season opener, but is there an environment that sticks out in terms of people?
Helix was a big game. I mean, I want to say, there's no seats in the stands. People were standing around. Helix was a big game. I want to say when we played Sierra Canyon, that was a big game too. It was just a loud crowd. Probably my sophomore year, we played Team Redlands East Valley, and it was at one point I couldn't hear because both sides. It was a rivalry game. It was for the league title, so I mean both sides were going crazy. We started making a comeback, so I mean everybody was going crazy, and then to that point I couldn't hear. So those were a couple big games.
And comparing, obviously you now had only two so far, but how do those compare even, I'm guessing it's night and day so far between that and the college level?
Yeah, Michigan State was, as we got to the fourth quarter, the second half, they were real loud, so being able to communicate. Cal, at some point, they were getting loud too. Student section came deep. So, I mean, just going out there and just going against those environment, it's a great feeling.
You mentioned Coach Berkovici. How impactful has he been for you early on?
Very impactful. I mean, he helped me out a lot, growth throughout coverages, throughout really just learning the game. sitting down, watching film with him. He breaks down things. You know, he played here, he played in the NFL. He knows a lot of stuff. So just going in for knowledge, he helps out a lot. He helps out everybody. He just wants to see us succeed.
What's like the one of the bigger things that he's able to do? Is it give his experience in terms of what to face as a college athlete, or more so his scheme?
Yeah, really experience.
Okay.
So he has experience as a starter, and he has experience as a backup too. So I mean, he tries to relate. He can relate to me. He can relate to Joey. So I mean, he helps out both of us. One thing he's always on me, just being the starter. There's a certain expectation that you got to set as an offense. And then I just hear the conversation like, we're all cool, we're all close. So the conversation with Joey, he said he's going to be harder on Joey than me because you never know when Joey's time might be called.
Yeah.
So, I mean, just going out there, we're just really just helping each other. He helps out everybody.
Yeah, it seems like, too, with Coach Likens kind of working with the entire offense and then being up in the booth, it seems like Coach Berkovici has such an impactful role on the quarterbacks, especially during the games when he's with you guys on the bench.
Yeah, you know, Coach Likens, he's in the booth, so he talks to us from time to time, but really Coach Berkovici is the one that really just helps us out a lot. He comes, we're just talking about it on the sideline, really just talking about what we've seen and everything else, and then he just breaks it down. He tries to break down coverages with us on the field. So I mean, he's really a great dude. He really helps out a lot.
I know he's a good personality too. Is there a story that sticks out about him when you think back?
I mean, there's a lot of them. He's a very sarcastic dude.
Really?
Yeah, very sarcastic. So, I mean, it's just a couple stories that we have in the quarterback room, but it stays in there.
Okay.
So, I mean, he's a very sarcastic dude, very funny dude.
He seems like the type of guy that there's a lot of stories that you can't really share anywhere.
Yeah.
But those are the best ones.
Yeah, those are the best ones,
I
for
guess
sure.
my last thing is kind of, obviously you are a freshman, there's no denying that, and you have a bunch of them, but is there kind of like a mindset you think amongst the group that are all in their first year, like, yeah, like we know we're here, but we can handle this. We kind of know coming in, like, as much as people might say, oh, they're just freshmen, like, you guys don't really care in that way.
Yeah, I mean, we're freshmen, but on the field, we're a football player. We're not really, people on the field don't really just look at you like, oh, you're a true freshman, oh, you're a senior. I know you're either our opponent or you're our teammate. So, I mean, just going out there, it doesn't matter what year you are, the experience, how old you are. I mean, you just going out there and you're just playing football.
How much has he helped you with the protections? And I know he's been approaching the line with Cole and communicating about it, but how much have you gained an understanding in the first 5 weeks?
So, I mean, Cole does a great job of calling him out. Helps out a lot too. But I really one thing I harped on was trying to learn the protections as I get on. Coach Berko helped me out a lot with that. So, I mean, just knowing that whatever Cole calls, that I know it, knows that we're all on the same page, because us three matter the most, and making sure the line knows, and then making sure if I have hot reads where they're coming from. So, I mean, just going out there and just executing that.